My name is Samantha Andrews and I am a zinester from Albuquerque, New Mexico. And today I'm so excited to show you how to make a zine using code, specifically using this app that I found online called Zine Machine. And so this page here is basically like the template for a one-page zine. I didn't make this page, someone else did, and their credits are down here on Twitter, Rowan_M. But basically what this person did is they created an app on Glitch, and Glitch is kind of like an open source way to publish apps and write code and share it with people. So on Glitch, this person made a zine, a one-page zine layout using HTML and CSS. And basically when you print this zine, it prints out like how a one-page zine should be laid out. So you know how with a one-page zine, the layout is a little bit funny. When you fold it, you have to be careful about which page is the front page, and it's upside down from some of the other pages. So this tool makes it really easy to make a zine online with this layout with code. And I'll show you how it works a little bit here. So they sort of made this page as an example or like a sample for how it works. So if I go here and I click print, this page lays out like a one-page zine. And the way that this works is through some CSS, which is basically all the style that gets applied to a web page. So we will go over here to our, so basically what I did after kind of experimenting with this app is if you click this fish button, this basically is how you can copy this person's project into your own workspace. And so I copied it here. So now I have the whole project in my own Glitch workspace, and I can edit anything that I want, and it won't edit their original copy. So this is all my copy now. And over here on the left-hand side, you can see in Glitch, there's some files that we can look at. So there's a README, which is basically kind of like the instructions for how to use it. There are, so this is the page that we just looked at. This is what the code looks like for that page, the HTML. This is some CSS files. This is like some default CSS, so we won't really be touching this. And then some JavaScript. We also won't really be touching any of this. This is where you would put your own custom styling if you wanted to like change the colors, change the text, the font family, stuff like that. And the file that we're mostly going to be using is this template.html file. So as you can see here in this template file, there's sort of all of these comments. These are comments here because they have this text with the exclamation point and then 2 dashes. It's basically the page doesn't read this, it's just for us to read. And so it's like a to-do that says add a description of your zine, add your theme color, so we can just easily make our own theme just by changing this one content color here. And then this is really where it gets interesting. So this is where your front cover page goes here, and then each of these sections kind of tells you that there's a new page that you're making. Yeah, so if you haven't seen HTML or CSS before, this might be a little intimidating, but I think it gives you a pretty good idea of how these things are broken up into pages, basically in this case by sections, and then we can add our own content inside. So where the magic really happens with this is in our style.css file. If we scroll down to the bottom, there's this media query and it says print. And I'd actually never seen this before looking at this code. I write code in my day job and I've never seen a media print query. But this is where all of the stuff is happening that tells this template how to print and how to like flip those pages upside down and get everything formatted correctly for a one-page zine. So I won't change any of this code because it already looks really good based on what I saw from the print preview we saw on the previous page. But you can see here these classes, these are called classes, CSS classes, and they relate directly to these classes added here. So this header element has the class of zine page and page 1. This one has zine page and page 2. So most of these pages have all of their, like, have this same class that is zine page, and they're all formatted that same way. But then there's this extra class that's added to each one that says, like, this is how each specific page should be laid out when we print it. And so if we look at these styles here, we see that it looks like each one has this grid area defined, and that's basically something in CSS. It's pretty new. It's a pretty new CSS layout technique called CSS grid, and it's really helpful in making layouts, especially on the web. But as we can see here, it really helps us to lay out this one-page zine. And here we can see certain pages need to be rotated around and translated on the x-axis, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. That's how those pages are getting flipped over in the print view. So I thought this was a really cool use of the print media query and CSS grid, which are pretty advanced topics when it comes to web development, but a lot of those things I'd never seen before. But it goes to show you that if you have a little bit of context about what a one-page zine is, and then you look at this code, it's pretty easy to understand like what's going on. And it's especially nice to know that we don't really have to touch or edit any of this code to make our zine that we want to make. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to edit this template.html, and I think I'm probably going to duplicate it, and I'm going to name it one page emoji zine and put it, awesome, so it's going to be right there. So if I mess something up, then the template will still be there that I can go back and look at. But basically I'm going to go ahead and like edit all of these sections to make my own zine, and I've already decided on a topic for the zine. I'm going to make a zine about how to design your own custom emoji using like free online tools. So that's going to be the zine that I make using this free online tool, and I hope that you all learn something and get something out of it. Okay, so I'm going to get started showing you how to make this one-page zine about how to design your own emoji, and we're going to be writing HTML to get this zine made. I've already sort of written the content that I know that I want to have in the zine, and I've put it here in this, just in this notes file. So it has all these sections, and each section is going to be a page. You can see there's a couple things here like bullet points and images, and yeah, we will put all this together. So I'm going to start with this first section. Let's just start by copying and pasting this like header element. So this is actually going to be the second page because the first page is the cover, and I know what the cover is going to say, but I'm not exactly sure what imagery should go there. So we'll start with the second page, and I'm going to start by adding a, I'm going to look at their preview just to see what they ended up doing. Okay, so they use H2 tags. That just means like the second header for kind of the page headers, but on the first page it's an H1, so it kind of shows the hierarchy, that this is the title and this is like the most important part, and then all the things below are H2 tags, which makes sense to me. So we'll go back to our file and we'll do H2 here, and we will say text Y custom emojis, and then pretty much we're going to repeat that process with all of our sections. So in this case, I have two different paragraph tags because I want those to be separate. So I put that text here, and then I can do another p tag here. It looks like Glitch is pretty smart, and so when I add the opening p tag, it automatically creates the closing p tag, which is really nice. Okay. And then you see how it does this annoying thing where it's like the text is going all the way across off the screen? You can format this, and then it will nicely format it for you and do this great confetti animation. All right, we'll put in our next page. I'm going to actually remove the to-do comments as I fill in the content so that I can keep track of like what I'm up to. So this page is called Step 1, Brainstorm. Okay, so in this case we have some bullet points that I want to add, so that's going to be a little bit different than a p tag actually. I'm going to change this p tag to an unordered list. Unordered list just basically means that the list, it doesn't matter what order the items are really in, so that's what a bullet pointed list is. An ordered list is usually numbered or has like Roman numerals, and then for each element it has a list element tag, so each one of these bullet points goes into this list tag. And we'll do 2 of them. Cool. Added most of our content here, I'm going to show you how to add an image to your HTML. So I want to add to the cover page, I want to add an image that is my own custom emoji that I made. So you can see the emoji that I made right on the cover. And so here we're going to add, this is the title in an H1 tag, how to design your own custom emoji. And then we're going to add this image tag. And image tags are a little bit different than the rest of the tags we've been using. We've been using a lot of H1s, H2s, P tags, unordered lists, and list items. So an image is like a self-closing tag is what it's called. So you don't put any content in between 2 image tags. You just put the image tag and then you put the source. And in this case, the source is going to be the link to this file here. So I uploaded this custom emoji file into my assets, and I can just copy this link here and then go back to my one-page emoji and put that link. Another thing that image tags should have is an alt tag, and that just is like a description of what the image is, and it's used for accessibility so that people who are blind in using this web page would be able to understand the content still. So I'm just going to call it custom heart emoji, custom leopard print heart emoji. Cool. Let's format it. And I think things that I'm going to do is, since I have all the content in here that I want, all the images, I'm not really going to change any of the styles just because I think it looks pretty good already with the styles that are in there. We'll see when I like play around with it if there are any styles that I need to change. But what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to delete this index.html file, and I'm going to rename the file we created to be the index. And what that does is that just makes it so that whenever I show what this looks like, it'll look like a web page. Glitch recognizes that the index.html is the file to show. So I'm going to rename this one, or I'm going to delete this one first, actually. And then rename this to index.html. Cool. Okay, so now I think if I go to the live app option here, when I click share, I can click the copy button and we'll see what this does. I'm not exactly sure yet. I'm hoping, oh cool, yes, so this is my zine that we created. Looks like there's a couple things that I'll need to clean up maybe. Like this image is like too big, so we'll need to work on that, but otherwise it looks pretty good. And yeah, I'm excited about how it'll turn out. So I'll make a couple of those changes and then show you the final result. I just updated the title of this page with the title of my zine, How to Design Your Own Custom Emoji. So when I go over here to the page, this little description up here should change, which it did, which is cool. So I added a few styles to make sure the images weren't overflowing and to make sure the bullet lists and the numbered lists here still look all right. So this is pretty much my one-page zine. You can see like the styles, the colors are the same as the original project that Rowan made, but I think it still looks pretty good. So let's go up here to print, see what it looks like. Cool. I mean, there's definitely an one-page zine there. I'm pretty excited to print it out and use it, and I hope that you all will be able to use this example to maybe learn a little bit of code and make your own one-page zine. You can find this project, Rowan's original project here, at zine-machine.glitch.me, and then just click this fish button to remix the project on Glitch. And Glitch allows you to remix a project without making an account if you don't want to, but it only stays there for 5 days. So if you want to keep your project, you'll have to create an account with Glitch, and it's free. And I just did that right before. This is my first time really using Glitch, and it was really fun. So I hope you all had a good time.